Welcome to the beginner's guide to the map known as Mountain Pass. Mountain Pass is interesting, it has different areas of fighting, and they all have different effects on units, so it's going to be slightly different to my normal guides. But let's start with a bit that is the same, and that's where's the artillery. So if you're south, the artillery, you're going to find it basically on a little hill at H8. You often find it on the ledges at G and H0. I've seen it as far back as K0. And then over on the north, you're going to find them at A2, you're going to find them up on a ledge at C3, and you're also going to find them on the ice road at A5. Mountain Pass has some named areas. One area is called Bridge, which you find at E6. There's the ice road itself, which starts at A3 and curves all the way around to D7. There's what's called Center, which is 4 squares over a frozen lake, which you find at F4 and G5. And then you've got the South Road, which starts at G1 and curves all the way around until it gets to J5. This battle is won or lost by how you look after the main attack lines and how you look after the 2 flanking points. The 2 flanking points are the bridge and center. So at the beginning of the match, lots of lights are going to go to center and they're going to do a lot of spotting. They may even go down into the frozen lake and zoom the other way. They could even be joined with some mediums. What they're really doing here is vision control. The south team will also send some lights over to H3 where they can cause a lot of trouble. While that's happening, a decision is made by the team of whether they're going to hold bridge, ignore bridge, or try to push bridge. Either way, what usually happens with bridge is TDs start lining up. If they're from the north, you find them around about D5. From the south, you find them around about E7. You might find the odd medium and heavy on there. It all depends how much they want to start working on the flanking for bridge. But it can also develop as a later game strategy. And that's because the 2 core pushes are happening on the ice road to the north and the south road. Let's deal with that ice road first. The ice road is held by TDs. In the north, you often find them at A5 and B6. And in the south, you'll often find them at D8 and E8-9. And heavies. The heavies sort of trundle down the ice road or trundle up to the ice road. And what everyone is doing is they're looking with suspicion at the corner at D7. That's the critical corner. One team has to decide to take this corner. Now, if the other team is really dug in, has got RT support, has their TDs figured out, the bridge hasn't fallen, then this can be a nightmare. But if the team isn't prepared, if you've got your heavies and you move in strength, if you know what you're doing, then this push can decide the entire map. The best tactics I've ever seen is that if you get pushed against and you can't hold, fall back. No, honestly, fall back. If you retreat all the way to your base, you actually get an awful lot of land that you can then start punishing them as they're trundling forward, and they're generally slow-moving heavies. And while that battle is happening in the northern part of the map to decide the fate, there's another battle happening in the southern part of the map. It pretty much takes place round about J2, 3 and 4, and it will pretty much involve everything. Mediums are there trying to flank everything. The TDs are throwing in shots from the distance. TDs you're finding at like G1, they might push up to H1 if they're from the north, and from the south you see them nuzzling in K5, you often see them at J5 as well. Your heavies are brute force attacking each other, generally round about J3, both teams trying to figure out if they can push one way or the other. Whichever one falls, be it the north or the south, it's how you react that then decides this map. TDs can make or break this map if they're played well. Lights can be a miracle in vision control. Mediums can make a huge difference because of the flanking opportunities. And heavies need to do their job. If your heavies don't do the job, Mountain Pass can be very, very painful. Well, we'll see you on the battlefield.